How's the team looking in preparation for Colorado?
Good. Obviously we wanted to work on a few things today in anticipation of what we expect their lineup to be. But, yesterday we worked a lot on defense, and today we wanted to work more on offensive things.
You've had a few games at altitude, this season. How does it seem to kind of changing it up like that?
What's that?
Games at altitude.
We don't think about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. So, my philosophy has always been that you come in as late as possible, so you try and come in within about 24 hours of game time, and that's when altitude has the least impact on you.
What do you see in the Colorado team that you are going to face?
They're a team that's very confident right now because obviously they've won games, they've gotten good results, so they've got a little bit of a swagger to them. Their midfield defensively has played well. Michael Lazira's played well for them along with Cronin. Up front, Solniak has started to come into his game, so that's been powerful for them. Jermaine Jones had a good introductory game, so we'll see how he does in week 2. But they've just been a pretty consistent team. They've got some size, obviously, when they come forward on set pieces with Burling and that, but they've just a team right now that's very confident.
We talked last week about Jim Curtin maybe having a year or two, and this is his squad. Same thing with Pablo, that this is now the players that he's really wanting on the pitch?
Yeah, Pablo and I spent a little bit of time in the offseason. We actually sat next to each other on the seminar for a few days, and so we were talking quite a bit and exchanging ideas, and it's just, again, it's I was very fortunate as a young coach because I was able to go in this incubator called UCLA at the time, and I could make all my mistakes and I could learn from them and I could move forward. And I also coached youth teams and stuff like that. So guys like Pablo and Benny Olsen and even Jason Kreis, when he got thrown into it, and Jim Curtin, you get thrown into it, and they haven't necessarily gotten years of experience, so a lot of times things are new for them. But as you go through it and you're allowed to maintain it, you end up learning, hey, this worked and this didn't work, and you start imprinting more of your personality upon the team, which I think is happening.
What about Jermaine Jones' game makes him particularly dangerous?
The biggest thing about Jermaine Jones is he's just a fantastic competitor. He wants to compete. He wants to step on the field, and he wants to come out on top. He wants to win the one-on-one duel defensively. He wants to win the duel offensively. He's one of those players who sometimes can sense what the team needs at the time. Maybe the team needs a tackle, a defensive play. Maybe the game and the team needs a surging run, maybe the appropriate pass. He just seems to have a sense for that thing, and he's comfortable playing as a box-to-box midfielder. But it's his competitive. He's a good player, and his competitive nature really sometimes takes him over the top.
Going back to Pablo, is that something maybe they were missing, and it's a perfect piece for the Rapids?
It's certainly a good piece for the Rapids because, he's the kind of guy who within the game, through his example and his energy, brings other guys along with him. He lifts other guys along. And so I think that's a good thing for them.
And how to defend him?
You have to be aware of him because he's not somebody who you're saying, okay, he's going to be the playmaker. He's going to play underneath the forward all the time. Sometimes he'll be deeper in midfield. Sometimes he'll be up higher. You just have to be aware of him. You got to defend him in terms of trying to make him play the pass as simply as possible. You probably want to avoid physical duels because, he's a strong guy and he's going to win some of those.
Is everybody, you anticipate, healthy enough at least to travel, and particularly any clarity on Friberg?
Yeah, we feel better about Friberg. Today, tomorrow will be obviously the final indicator for us on him, but he got through all of practice today, so we'll see how he feels.
I guess there are at least 2 leagues that you follow more closely than EPL, but have you been following their race, and what do you think of Leicester City's little magic season?
It's unbelievable. What Ranieri has done there is fantastic. I know at the start of the season, they were looking for a coach. They weren't sure what they were going to do, what direction the club was going to head in. I think even Precky's name was mentioned in relationship to them at some point. And then they went with Ranieri, and just things have fallen into place for them, and it's been magical. And what he's really done is he's he's basically said, okay, look, we can't play like this, but we got, some guys are pretty fast, and we're going to take advantage of that, and we're going to use that. And they got some results, and they gained confidence, and they've been able to take it so far. So, they've got 5 points. Hopefully they'll hold on.
Speaking of confidence, what's your level of confidence? What's the squad's level of confidence heading into Colorado?
Well, obviously much better after the last 3 games, so we just got to continue to do that. We want to possess the ball, but we also want to make sure we penetrate at the right times. Our team, I think, has that confidence. They know that they can score some goals now, and we just got to continue to do that.
Has anything looked different about Jordan Morris in practice this week after scoring that goal?
No, he continues to work hard, and he continues to put the effort in training. It's more a situation when you get into the next game, you feel like, okay, I've done this now. It's not new. I'll get it done.